To face the era of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Universitas Terbuka or UT is strongly committed to innovate in order to continue and sustain its identity as a cyber university. Various efforts has been taken by utilizing advances in communication and information technology or ICT to increase the higher education gross enrollment rate. Since its establishment on September 4, 1984, UT, with an open and distance learning system, has shown accomplishment in the distribution of quality higher education and increasing learning opportunities for all. The era of disruption has initiated the birth of more innovative and disruptive ways in the world of education. This will encourage the digitization of the education system. In response to this, UT has made various innovative changes, starting from registration activities, developing teaching materials, implementing tutorials, to examinations, which are all can be carried out fully online. Currently, UT holds more than 40 study programs for diploma, bachelor, master, and doctoral programs in management and public administration under 4 faculties. In addition, UT also provides certificate programs in the form of independent course programs, massive open online courses or MOOCs, continuing education programs, as well as instructional training programs and professional skills. Moreover, UT also provides a variety of open educational resources which can be accessed not only by students but also by general public for free. To maintain quality standards, UT periodically invites the National Accreditation Body for Higher Education or BAN-PT. In addition, UT periodically and voluntarily invites international certification bodies to conduct quality reviews, namely the Organizations for Standardization or ISO and the International Council for Open and Distance Education or ICDE.
UT in the era of new normal has further solidified its identity as the leader of distance higher education institution in Indonesia. By utilizing advances in technology and informations in supporting learning services, UT is proven at the forefront of distance education
or ICDE.
UT in the
With the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Universitas Terbuka or UT has continuously been implementing many more developments and innovations as it efforts to establish the identity as a cyber university by utilizing the most state-of-the-art technologies. The wave of digital disruptions has dramatically changed the views of many sectors. In response to this new and modern world, UT adapts and invests in new technologies, including web-based system, where registrations, learning material development, tutorial, and final examinations are conducted online. Online registration system is developed to enable students to register for the courses through various devices, such as computers and smartphones. Students are able to access digital learning materials in PDF and EPUB formats in UT Digital Library. Online tutorials are now available for all courses that interactions occurs asynchronously. UT also offers synchronous learning that enables real-time communications and collaborations, such as web-based tutoring, e-lecturing, and video conferencing. UT has implemented online final examinations conducted at regional offices utilizing VPN technology to connect different regional offices throughout the country to the examination center at the headquarters. In 2018, UT made a significant breakthrough by introducing online proxy examinations that allow students to take online examination at the remote locations of their choice. UT is proud to offer open educational resources which we call Suaka Universitas Terbuka. It offers free online courses available for everyone around the globe at no additional cost. Suaka Universitas Terbuka offers UT TV on YouTube, UT Radio broadcast through the internet, online enrichment materials, digital library, Guru Pintar Online, a portal for teachers throughout Indonesia which allows them to access various information about teacher trainings, teaching and learning materials to improve their educational experiences. Suaka Universitas Terbuka provides massive open online courses or MOOCs. To enrich student learning experience, UT provides TriLab and e-seminar. TriLab enables students to perform practical work simulations with their computers. Meanwhile, e-seminar is dedicated to students who are required to present the results of their studies or research virtually. To obtain information about UT, communication channels are provided for students and general public, including Halo UT is to answer courteously inbound calls from students and public seeking information about UT. Digital marketing shares information through social media to connect with current and prospective students. To support e-learning, UT provides facilities to the students such as Wi-Fi ID, a free internet service for students using Wi-Fi hotspots in public locations provided by PT Telkom. Microsoft Office 365, free software for students to help them facilitate office documentation, communications, and management tasks. Central Layanan UT or SALUT is the extension of regional offices to bring services closer to the current students and prospective students. To ensure the quality in every single aspect, UT involves both domestic and international accreditation and quality assurance institutions, including the International Organization for Standardization, National Accreditation Board, and the International Council for Distance Education, ICDE.
We know that Universitas Terbuka share this commitment, providing world-class, accessible, higher education, and we're very proud to support you.
That Universitas Terbuka has assumed a leadership role in the field of open education resources, or OER.
Attention please, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly proceed to the conference room since we will momentarily begin the agenda. Before we start the event, please kindly mute your microphone. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. Thank you. The conference is also broadcast live on Universitas Terbuka YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, the agenda is about to start. His Excellency Johnny Gerard Plate, the Minister of Communication and Information of the Republic of Indonesia, represented by Dedi Permadi, SIP, MA, PhD, Special Staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia. Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, Professor Dr. Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD. Honorable Dean, Faculty of Law, Social, and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, Dr. Sofjan Arifin. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, CEO and co-founder at CIS Indonesia, Dr. Liew Voon Kiong, Chief Business Officer, Centriverse Malaysia, Dr. Hugh Johan Pape, Senior Economic, Poverty and Equity Global Practice, Global Lead for Data for Operational Impact, World Bank, Profesor Dr. Daryono, Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, and Ms. Megafuri Apriandini, the conference chair. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, selamat datang. Welcome to the 4th Open Society Conference 2022, Perspective and Impact of Metaverse on Sustainable Development Goals, organized by the Faculty of Law, Social, and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. My name is Yonarisman Muhammad Akbar. It's a wonderful and precious chance for me to be your host in this conference, and also very excited to be along with you all here until the end of the conference. We would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Until this year, we're not able to see each other in person, but we do hope you're not less motivated to keep up with us today until the end of the event. It is such a great opportunity for all of us to interact across the globe today, and we truly appreciate you taking the time to join us here. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the conferences, please allow me to inform you the agenda today. The first agenda is the opening ceremony, speech from the keynote speaker, and then followed by the first panel session and parallel session. After lunch break, the second parallel session begins and followed by the second panel session. And to the end today, we have closing remarks, and of course, last but not least, the moment which everyone is keen to wait for, the announcement best paper winners. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now we kindly request you to stand up as we are going to sing Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. You may have a seat. Thank you. Next, let us listen to the hymn of Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I believe today is going to be a fruitful and productive day for us all. Praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We have been graced by the chance together in this wonderful conference. Before we proceed the event, I would like to call upon Mr. Rahmat Wirawan to lead the prayers. Mr. Rahmat Wirawan, the time is yours.
Auzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, inshallah, let us lead the doa in a Muslim way. For the audience who are of religion other than Islam, we are welcome to pray according to their respective religion and belief. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yu'afi, ni'mahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yambagi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'. Ya Allah, Ya Maliku, Ya Kudus, we glorify your name because only you are our Lord, only you are to you prostrate ourselves, only to you we are grateful, and only to you we offer prayers. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, you are the most merciful. On this glorious day, we would like to organize the 4 Open Society Conference. Begin for your blessing and permission. Give us the smooth running of our activities from the beginning to the end of this event. Ya Allah, Ya Basit, you are the most expanding. Open our minds, flex your tongues, and give us bright idea to continue working with writing. Enrich our hearts and mind with all the goodness of science, so that we able to continue to work, share knowledge as worship and charity for our life. Ya Allah, Ya Ghafur, you who are all forgiving of all sins, forgive our sins for the sins of our parents, the sins of our leaders, and the sins of our predecessors. Put us and them all this in the protection of your mercy and forgiveness. Ya Allah, Ya Mujib, you are the most one who grants prayers, all our prayers and supplications. Allahumma rabbana taqabbal minna salatana wa du'ana innaka antas samiul alim. Rabbana taqabbal minna taubatana innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahmat Wirawan, for the beautiful prayer. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, opening today's conference, we'd like to invite Ms. Megafuri Apriandini as the committee chairman to give the conference report. Ms. Megafuri Apriandini, the time is yours.
The Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences Universitas Terbuka conducts the 4th Open Society Conference in 2022. The theme of this year's conference is Perspective and Impact of Metaverse on Sustainable Development Goals. Metaverse become a trending topic lately. We realize that the Metaverse topic raises many questions from a wide range of society to stakeholders, from innovative to more critical assessment, which bring challenges for researchers in facing new era in the future. Ready or not, we are about to face the shifting era called Metaverse, with the consequence of shifting of social, economic, science, and regulations. This Metaverse consequently addresses the need of research that must be facilitated around the issues of sustainable development goals and its impact. On that account, through this conference, we would like to present an embodiment of academic forum to disseminate ideas around the world. The conference that is held annually by the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences Universitas Terbuka purposely gives the chance for lecturers and students to participate in sharing knowledge environment around the topic of the Metaverse and its relationship to sustainable development goals. To address interest in various research fields, the topics are grouped into 7 subthemes. They are 1. Cybersecurity challenge in law perspective. 2. Digital transformation and the changing social lifestyle. 3. Human capital development through Metaverse. 4. Library and information system in Metaverse society. 5. Creative digital economy through the world of Metaverse. 6. Trends and directions of translation in Metaverse. 7. The future of governance in the Metaverse world. To draw ideas and thoughts on efforts in exploring perspective and impacts of Metaverse on sustainable development goals, we invite the participation of conference guest speakers, academics, researchers, and practitioners from various scientific and institutional backgrounds. The institutions are from Universitas Terbuka, Universitas Indonesia, Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Universitas Singa Perbangsa Karawang, Universitas Bina Nusantara, Universitas Balikpapan, Institut Bisnis dan Informatika Kwikwangi, Universitas Mula Warman, Universitas Sriwijaya, Universitas Hasanuddin, Universitas Trunojoyo Madura, Universitas Negeri Semarang, Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, Universitas Islam Negeri Alauddin Makassar, IKIP Budi Utomo Malang, Universitas 11 Maret, Universitas Halu Oleo, Universitas Al-Muslim, Universitas Islam Malang, Universitas Udayana, and SMAN 2 Malang. We hope that the 4th Open Society Conference can give the most of benefits and can contribution on social aspects of sustainable development goals in Indonesia. Finally, we express our highest appreciation and gratitude to all committee members and other parties who have contributed their thought, time, and contribution for this conference. I hope you enjoy the conference.
Thank you very much, Ms. Megapuri Apriandini, for the report. We'd like to now invite the Dean of Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences to deliver his welcoming remark, Dr. Sofjan Arifin.
Excellency Professor Dr. Randus Ojat Darojat M. Bush, PhD, Rector of Universitas Terbuka. Excellency Dr. Liew, PK, Chief Business Officer, Centriverse, Malaysia. Excellency Dr. UTG Johan Pape, Senior Economist, Poverty and Equity Global Practice Global Lead for Data for Operational Impact, World Bank. Excellency Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, CEO and Founder at CIS Indonesia. Excellency Professor Dr. Daryono, Professor in Property Law and Law Technology, Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia. Distinguished guests and participants of the 4th Open Society Conference, ladies and gentlemen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon you. First of all, let us deliver our thankful to the Almighty Allah who has given us the wonderful opportunity so today. We call gather in the 4th Open Society Conference 2022. I am pleased to welcome you to the annual conference held by the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Science, entitled Perspective and Impact of the Metaverse on Sustainable Development Goal, held virtual at Jakarta, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcement of Facebook rebranding itself as Meta has aroused public enthusiasm from the Metaverse. The Metaverse is where the physical and digital world collide, and it is regarded as the next evolution of the Internet. The Metaverse is a social technology that allows digital representation of individuals. Another is avatar, to communicate with another in a range of situations. The Metaverse provides a space for endless, interconnected virtual communities using virtual reality headset, augmented reality glasses, smartphone app, or other devices, whether at work, in an office, attending concerts, or supporting events, or even trying on clothes. Now, the public is questioning what the Metaverse is and how the Metaverse affects them. Not only Meta, big tech companies like Apple and Microsoft are also working on their own Metaverse. Data show that as of October 2021, the total market capitalization of Web 2.0 Metaverse companies was $14.6 $6.8 trillion US dollar. This number will continue to grow and make Metaverse a promising issues that offer market and opportunities in the future. This issue become very interesting to discuss from various perspectives and see how this can impact society. According to a World Trend Index survey by Microsoft in 2022, there are 52% of workers who ready to use digital space in Metaverse for meeting or teamwork next year. Gen Z and Millennials are the generation that most often image being able to work through the Metaverse. The phenomenon of Metaverse can give rise to anomalies that occur in social life. Issues related to data privacy, unlimited creativity, antisocial to business investment in the Metaverse are other challenges that may arise because of the Metaverse. Thus, it is necessary to take advantage of the opportunity that can be obtained and minimize the risks that arise from the Metaverse. To answer the curiosity of the public and researchers about the Metaverse, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Science of the Universitas Terbuka took the initiative to gather all of us, academicians, lecturers, practitioners, and business cycle in the conference. Distinguished audience, the conference has three main objectives. First, to enhance the knowledge of academics and practitioners regarding the multiple perspectives of Metaverse. Second is to discuss the impact of Metaverse. And third is to share research progress, output, and analytical work among the academic, practitioner, and policymaker on perspective and impact of the Metaverse on SDG. I hope by joining this conference, we will have a broad new knowledge from all the effort coming from national and international institutions. I also hope through this conference, we will have a new perspective and preparing for a forthcoming impact of the Metaverse on SDG. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to the organizing committee who has done a great job in hosting this event. The conference was very well organized. May Allah blessing you and reward you with goodness. Last but not least, I once remembered FitEgg and Tesla founder Elon Musk said, "If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it is not." And right now, in this moment, all of us are working on what Elon said as the bright day. We are working for the bright future and our world. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sofjan Arifin, for the welcoming remark. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my deep pleasure to introduce and invite our beloved Rector of Universitas Terbuka Indonesia to deliver his speech. His Excellency, Professor Dr. Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Uch Johan Pape, Senior Economist, Poverty and Equity, Global Practice, Global Lead for Data for Operational Impact, World Bank. Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, CEO and co-founder at CIAS Indonesia. Dr. Liew von Kiong, Chief Business Officer of Centriverse, Malaysia. Profesor Dr. Daryono, Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. Dr. Sofyan Arifin, M.Sc, Dean of Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka, Deputy Deans and Lecturers at the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka, and all participants of the seminars. Peace, God's mercy, and blessing be upon you. First of all, I would like to invite all of you to thank God, the Almighty, for His blessings, so that today we can meet and gather virtually in good health to attend and participate in the 4th Open Society Conference organized by the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka, with the theme of Perspective and Impact of Metaverse on Sustainable Development Goals. On behalf of Universitas Terbuka, I would like to express my highest gratitude and appreciation to the speakers from the World Bank, Corporate Innovations Asia, CIAS, Centriverse, and Universitas Terbuka for their willingness to be speakers at this conference. Hopefully, the knowledge you share will benefit us all, both academics and the wider community in general. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, it has not been too long since we experienced the pandemic phase when life is harder than it used to be. Everyone must stay indoors 24/7 due to the lockdown policy. All public places closed or have limited operating hours. Everyone is not allowed to get near each other due to the social distancing policy. A life like this is quite hard to live. However, as we are now entering the post-pandemic era, some things have changed. People are changing their way of living. More trends are emerging, either to improve the existing ones or to change the old ways. The pandemic has accelerated digital transformations across multiple domains, including the Metaverse. Metaverse is not a new concept yet. The announcements of Facebook rebranding itself as Meta has aroused public enthusiasm for the term Metaverse. The public is questioning what the Metaverse is and how it affects them. It is considered a promising issue that offers opportunities and challenges in the future. It is intrigued to explore how this can impact society, especially on Sustainable Development Goals. In the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which include aspects like innovations, health and well-being, economic growth, education, equality, sustainable development cities, and climate actions. The phenomenon of metaverse can give rise to anomalies that occur in social life. Issues related to data privacy, antisocial, and business investment in the metaverse are some challenges that may arise because of the metaverse. On the other side, it provides opportunities for several aspects like quality educations and climate actions. If we consider the benefits and opportunities of the metaverse, without neglecting the potential negative impact of the technology, we can carry out many studies on the metaverse to ensure sustainability. Moreover, with the understanding of the metaverse and SDG relationship, the public sector, the private sector, and the academician must work together to raise awareness in this area. When all these activities come together, they create a more substantial impact. Thus, it is necessary to take advantage of the opportunities that can be obtained and minimize the risks that rise from the metaverse. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned before, that quality education is one of the important goals of SDGs. It is crucial because the lack of equal opportunities in education is one of the biggest obstacles we face when providing quality education. If we provide the technological infrastructure and meet the need for technological devices, the education modules that we will adapt to the metaverse may enable us to make this SDG possible. As our tagline stated, making higher education open to all. Universitas Terbuka is heading towards a cyber university in part of our means to provide accessible quality education open to all. Even more, the COVID-19 pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for Universitas Terbuka. The existence of Universitas Terbuka has been increasingly recognized since the pandemic hit Indonesia. Open and distance higher education implemented by UT is increasingly in demand by the public. The pandemic conditions that limit face-to-face learning activities make us also work hard to improve ourselves. In response to the increased demand of society during the pandemic, we continue to innovate and develop our program. We commit to conducting continuous improvement of e-learning methods for both asynchronous and synchronous programs. Some existing programs include online tutorial or tuton, webinar-based tutorial to web, course assignments or tugas mata kuliah, and take-home exams. Some of the programs have been implemented prior to the pandemic and other during the pandemic. Universitas Terbuka strives to regularly monitor the policies and programs to best cater to the needs of our students. The academic quality of graduate is one of our priorities. Our commitment to continuous improvement is what makes the public still trust Universitas Terbuka since in 1984 until now. The accumulative number of alumni of Universitas Terbuka that reaches more than 1.9 million in 2021 is a pace of evidence. Meanwhile, the number of active students in UT reaches 346,717 in 2022. We serve not only those who live in Indonesia, but also Indonesian citizens who live overseas in more than 46 countries, including in ASEAN countries, such as Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, some European countries, and even in several countries in Africa. We also see the urgency for the development of the digital ecosystem, especially in distance learning. Moreover, as part of our efforts toward a cyber university, we continue to innovate through collaborations with partners, from public to private sectors, from local to global partners. In response to education trend in the world after the pandemic, we develop our Moodle and micro-credential programs to cater to the current education's and industry needs. Accordingly, we also see the need of upgrading our scoring system and start to implement artificial intelligence to prevent plagiarisms and emphasize originality for our students. This is part of our commitment to quality. On the other hand, Universitas Terbuka also actively participates in Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka program, which include joining a consortium. UT, in collaboration with several leading universities in Indonesia, has developed a marketplace for online courses in the Indonesian Cyber Education Institute. Furthermore, UT actively established cooperations with other universities and corporations, as well as encourage and facilitate students in taking part in student exchange programs, apprenticeship, research, community program, as well as entrepreneurship activities. Finally, I congratulate you on joining the 4th Open Society Conference. Hopefully, the result of the conference will bring many benefits to the contributions of technology toward sustainable development goals. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Summa assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Ojat Derajat, M.Sc, PhD. Moving on, it is now time for us to enjoy the dance performance that our talented students have so meticulously prepared for. The dance depicts Indonesian rich culture. The beauty of Indonesian diversity is shown by the unique movement, music, and costume of the dancer. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have the Minister of Communication and Information of the Republic of Indonesia, represented by Deddy Permadi, SIP, MA, PhD. Special staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver the keynote speech. Let me read the CV of Dr. Deddy Permadi, SIP, MA, PhD. Deddy Permadi, SIP, MA, PhD. Special Staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia. Education, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy, National University of Singapore. Visiting doctoral students, University of Oxford. Master of Art in International Relations, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Sarjana Ilmu Politik, Hubungan Internasional, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Karir, Co-Chair Digital Economy Working Group, G20 Indonesia 2022, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of Republic of Indonesia spokesperson 2020 until now, Special Staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources 2019 till now, Lecturer at Universitas Gadjah Mada 2019 until now, Expert Staff to the Minister in Digital Policy 2017 until 2019, Chairman of Gerakan Nasional Literasi Digital 2017 until 2019, Director of Center for Digital Society, Universitas Gadjah Mada, 2016 until 2017. Association, Edition Alliance World Economic Forum, Digital Government Society, and ASEAN Political and International Studies Association. Mr. Deddy Permadi, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. May peace and blessing be upon you all. Excellencies, Rector of Universitas Terbuka, distinguished panel presenters, civitas academica, ladies and gentlemen. An article in Forbes published in 2022 highlighted comprehensively the term digital genesis. It provokes us to imagine the convergence possibilities across the technologies the future may offer to us, such as advanced artificial intelligence with nanotech, biotech, quantum physics, and a digital universe with NFTs. All these years, popular science fiction movies may have already depicted this technological advancement. But now, in this day and age, we have actually started to experience it. One concrete example of how these advanced technologies take shape in our lives today is through the access of the Metaverse. Metaverse is a seamless convergence of our physical and digital lives that creates a unified virtual community where we can work, play, relax, transact, and socialize. As the Wall Street Journal put it simply, it is an extensive online world as the future vision for the Internet. The topic of Metaverse does not only belong to the realm of digital technology, but also to the massive potential in terms of the digital economy. Metaverse is projected to create $5 trillion in value by 2030, with the presence of relevant activities within the new universe such as e-commerce and virtual advertising. The advancement of responsible and accountable metaverse plays a beneficial role in the environment sustainability through the use case innovation of virtual reality, augmented reality, as well as the mixed reality within the metaverse. We are witnessing the development of various sectors. For example, through the utilization of this technology, the fashion industry could produce less waste by utilizing virtual clothing medium, as well as organizing fashion shows in Metaverse. The Metaverse has also become an enabler towards achieving and raising awareness of the Sustainable Development Goals. United Nations has supported several initiatives, including a competition to create the best SDG experience using virtual reality technology in the Metaverse. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in spite of its promising benefits, the Metaverse could potentially create massive carbon footprint and energy consumption through the heavy usage of the Metaverse computing infrastructures. As part of the growing Metaverse, cryptocurrency and NFTs that are stamped through blockchain-based processes require a tremendous amount of energy consumption. On average, Ethereum transaction consumes 60% more energy than 100,000 credit card transaction, while an average Bitcoin transaction consumes 14 times more energy. The average single NFT transaction produces 48 kilograms of CO2, or the equivalent of burning 18 liters of diesel. Therefore, it is necessary to adopt a sustainable and green ICT infrastructure to minimize environmental risk and to build a sustainable, inclusive, and equitable metaverse. Several countries have begun to explore a sustainable approach to promote the metaverse development policies as an integral part of their country. South Korea has formed a metaverse alliance, while at the same time creating sustainable metaverse ecosystem that stimulates a low carbon and green economic growth. United Kingdom, Australia, Singapore, and China have also been working toward a digital twins technology, which are virtual representations of real-world entities and processes. Digital twins technology could help propel sustainability at the planetary level, from supply chains and manufacturing assets to individuals. As the largest digital economy in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is utilizing digital innovation, including the metaverse, to help accelerate and empowering inclusive and sustainable digital transformation. One of the concrete steps taken by government of Indonesia in terms of sustainability is the targeting to achieve net zero emission by the year of 2060 or earlier. This policy to cut greenhouse gas emission involves all strategic sectors, including the ICT sector, to adapt and use environmentally friendly practices. Aligned with the net zero emission policy, the Ministry of Communications and Informatics is championing a green digital economy through three main aspects. On the connectivity aspect, the ministry has initiated 5G network developments in 13 cities in Indonesia. Operationally, 5G network is natively a greener technology with more data bits per kilowatt of energy than the previous wireless generation. On the data infrastructure aspect, the ministry is pushing for the development of green data centers that are energy efficient and use clean energy. Knowing the high demand for data center infrastructure in the future, especially for the implementation of the Metaverse, green data centers development are urgently needed. And on the application aspect, through the national movement for 100 smart city since 2017, the ministry has been facilitating the development of a smart city master plan for 147 regional cities. One of the 6 dimensions of smart city development is smart environment, where digital solutions such as digital twins can be used to stimulate solutions for virtual environments and reduce costs. The Metaverse is one of the emerging technologies that has begun to show its inventiveness in realizing a more sustainable future. However, in turn, there are reservations that need to be addressed by all stakeholders, such as the resources-intensive application of the Metaverse. The ministry will continue to implement a green digital economy approach for Indonesia's digital transformation and therefore will invite all stakeholders to participate in realizing a more connected and sustainable Indonesia. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Mr. Dedi Permadi. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering our first panel session with 2 keynote speakers. First is Dr. Liew Voon Kiong, Chief Business Officer, Centriverse Malaysia, and second is Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, CEO and co-founder at CIS Indonesia. The first panel discussion will be led by Adisthy Shabrina Nurqamarani as the moderator. Ms. Adisthy, now you are welcome to lead this session.
Thank you, Mr. Yona. The Honorable Special Staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Dedi Permadi, MA, PhD, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Prof. Ojat Darojat, M.Sc, PhD, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka, Dr. Sofyan Arifin, distinguished plenary speakers, Dr. Liew Voon Kiong and Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, all the participants of today's webinar. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you all to the 4th Open Society Conference about perspectives and impact of Metaverse on sustainable development goals, held by the Faculty of Law, Social, and Political Sciences Universitas Terbuka. My name is Adisthy Shabrina, and I would be moderating the first panel session this morning. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, we're entering the post-pandemic era. The pandemic has accelerated digital transformation across multiple domains, including Metaverse. This issue becomes remarkably interesting to discuss from various perspectives and to see how this can impact society, especially on sustainable development. Sorry for the technical issue. The Honorable Special Staff to the Minister for Digital Policy and Human Resources, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Dedi Permadi, PhD, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Prof. Ojat Darojat, M.Sc, PhD, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka, Dr. Sofyan Arifin, distinguished plenary speakers, Dr. Liew, Voon, Kiong, and Dr. Indrawan Nugroho, all the participants of today's webinar. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you all to the 4th Open Society Conference about perspectives and impact of Metaverse on sustainable development goals, held by the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Terbuka. My name is Adisthy Shabrina, and I will be moderating the first panel session this morning. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, we're entering the post-pandemic era. The pandemic has accelerated digital transformation across multiple domains, including Metaverse. This issue becomes remarkably interesting to discuss from various perspectives and to see how this issue can impact society, particularly on sustainable development goals. On this occasion, we shall have outstanding presentations from our prominent presenters, whom I believe shall enrich our insights and knowledge regarding the theme of the seminar. Before the presentations begin, please allow me to introduce the presenters. For the committee, please show the CV. The first presenter, Dr. Voon Liew, is the Chief Business Officer of Centriverse. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Honors, Master of Management with Distinction and Top Student Award. He obtained his Doctorate of Business Administration, specialized in e-commerce, from University of South Australia. He has also authored several blockchain books, including Metaverse Made Easy and Blockchain Made Easy, a blockchain guidebook for everyone. Recently, he was engaged as a facilitator for the National Blockchain Technology Development Roadmap workshop organized by Ministry of Science and Technology Malaysia. Our second speaker, Dr. Indrawan Nugroho. For the committee, please show the CV. Thank you. Dr. Indrawan Nugroho is the Corporate Innovation Consultant, founder and CEO of Corporate Innovation Asia. He holds a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Melbourne, Australia, with a major in Management and Industrial Relations. He continued his master program at Universitas Indonesia with the major of Applied Psychology of Corporate Human Resources. He took a Doctor of Philosophy from Universitas Bina Nusantara in the field of strategy and growth. Since 2000, Dr. Indrawan has provided consulting and training services to increase the productivity of more than 150 companies. He obtained World Game Prestigious Award for the most impactful program from Ericsson International. Ladies and gentlemen, to start our session, I will greet our speakers who have been present this morning. The first is Mr. Voon Liew. Good morning, Mr. Liew. Hello.
Hello, thank you, Moderator Ms. Shabrina. Okay, thank you very much, distinguished guests. Good morning to everyone. So I'm honored to be invited by University of Terbuka, something like that. Okay, for an organizer for inviting me to give my view on Metaverse, which is a very important, interesting topic for today's world, because it's going to transform the world into something, a new digital transformation, into something called Web3. Previously, we have Web 1, then Web 2, dominated by Facebook, Google, all the big conglomerates. But now we are entering an exciting internet called Web 3, which you can own your own digital asset. All right, let me introduce my, can I share my slide?
Sorry, Dr. Liew, let me please inform the rules of the material first. Is it okay? rules of the let me inform the rules of the event first to the participants. Is it okay
Sure,
for you?
sure. Yes, sure, no problem.
Thank you, sir. We will allocate 20 minutes to you to explain the material, but first, I will inform the rules to our participants. To all participants, please turn on your video and turn off your audio, and you can use our virtual background that you can download on the Zoom chat box. While the presenters deliver the material, participants are not allowed to interrupt. A Q&A session will be started after the two presenters have delivered the material. So after Dr. Liew, and we have Dr. Indrawan, and then we have the Q&A session. For those who want to ask questions, please ask via the chat column on Zoom or YouTube by stating your name, institution, and city of origin. So these are the rules that we will use for the first panel session this morning. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our first presenter, Dr. Liew, to present the material of Metaverse in a nutshell. Dr. Liew, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Adisthy. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's already on the screen.
I'll start my slide. Without further ado, let me start. All right, I'm currently the Chief Business Officer of Centriverse, which is a Metaverse platform. We are featuring NFT, Metaverse Museum, and also DeFi. All right, it's still in the development stage. And also we are setting up an academy of education focusing on advanced technologies such as Metaverse and also NFT and blockchain. All right, so we are into many projects. So the first project is our Metaverse Museum. All right, we just launched this museum called Metaverse about 2 weeks ago, right? In a national scale. So Metaverse is a Metaverse museum allows everyone to visit a museum without leaving your home. All right, you can come from any part of the world. You can visit museum, touch the artifacts, the digital artifacts in the museum, a virtual museum. So this is our concept, which means we can cut down on traveling, cut down on commuting, which is good for green. For our environment. You cut down the carbon emission and all that because you don't have to travel by plane or by car. This is our mission, and we are still new, but we are going to develop into a full-scale environment. Is a museum in very short time, maybe in the near future. Let me show you what is it. So it was launched in a very grand scale in the national, in our capital, Kuala Lumpur, with our Minister of Technology and Innovation, Dr. Adam Baba, who graced our opening ceremony, attended by distinguished guests. Okay, let me show a bit of, hold on. Okay, let me play a short video about 1 minute to see what is.
Sure. Sorry, Dr. Liew, the video doesn't show in our screen. Could you replay it again? Because it's not shown in our screen. Sorry. Excuse me, Dr. Liew, maybe you can stop share the slide first and then you share the video once again.
Pardon?
The video that you show, it's not shown in our screen. Maybe you should.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
let me try again. I'm not sure why I cannot share.
Maybe you should stop share the slide first and then you open the video.
Okay. Okay, let me try. Stop share. Okay, can I share again?
Sure. Please share the.
Do I stop the PPT or what? Okay. Can you see this now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me play those. Can you hear the video? Yes.
We can see it clearly, but there is no audio in here. So
no audio.
Yeah, maybe you can share the audio as well when the
share the audio.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how is it done. But you can see the screen. Never mind, just see the just see the visual. That's all. I think that I don't want to waste time. Okay, that's sorry for a bit of technical problem. So okay, let me share my slide again. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This problem with Zoom, because next time we are going to build what I call the Metaverse conference, then everyone can be inside the Metaverse room, seeing each other virtually. So I hope we can build this very soon. Even better than Zoom. Yeah, first of all, let me just give a short description of what is Metaverse. In fact, this Metaverse is not a new term. It came out in a fiction called, what I call that, in the fiction called, Neil Stephenson called Snow Crash. This is the very first term, first concept that came out, Metaverse concept. So in fact, the Metaverse referred to something beyond, and verse means universe. Beyond means parallel or additional or extended reality, right? So this is called meta. That means we are creating a digital copy of the reality, a digital copy of Earth or universe, or even extended to universe. So it's another world, but it's digital. So this author, Neil Stephenson, now he is a very hot demand. People invite him as advisor because he's both a good writer and also he's a tech guy. So he's very good in writing and also advising Metaverse projects in US. He wrote this fiction, which I have read it. Snow Crash means something, drug. They sell drug in the Metaverse. Just imagine, it's quite terrible. Yeah, it's interesting story. So this is a short definition of Metaverse. We can say this is a hybrid virtual physical extension, a virtual physical of a real world with mixed reality comprising VR technology, augmented reality, extended reality to create a 3D version of our parallel world. Okay, let me describe a bit of the characteristic of Metaverse. Right, Metaverse is, a lot of people heard of Metaverse because it's a buzzword now, but many of them don't actually understand what actually is Metaverse. sorry, in fact, we are present technology, we still can't create a complete metaverse, but maybe what I call that basic model of metaverse. So first of all, metaverse should be synchronous and alive. That means if you are in any part of the world, it must be synchronized. That means you are not seeing something a few seconds ago, or this guy in US every 10 minutes ago, and you in Jakarta is another 30 minutes. So there's no time lag. Okay, it must be live, synchronous. Just like you're watching some live telecast of football, sometimes can be delayed 30 minutes if you're in different location of the world. So an actual ideal metaverse should be this. But because due to network weakness, we don't have a strong, for example, maybe you need 5G connection, but some countries only have 2G or even 3G. So only it will benefit those advanced countries or like Korea. Korea is very advanced in the internet infrastructure. So they have even formed the alliance of Metaverse. So in Malaysia, we are also doing that. We are trying to form this Metaverse alliance. I'm sure in Jakarta you have formed this. So we are trying to develop better technology to make it, very advanced or complete Metaverse. Okay, second thing must be persistent. Metaverse cannot be like a computer, like an off and on, a shutdown. It will never shut down. Okay, even like multiplayer game now, sometimes they still shut down. So for example, when you're playing something or you want to pay e-commerce payment, then suddenly it shut down. So it shouldn't be. So Metaverse should be persistent. Third characteristic is Metaverse should accommodate unlimited number of users. You cannot have I can only allow 100 or 1,000 users. So cannot, because we have users from global users, so it must be unlimited. Fourth is every user must have individual sense of presence. You must feel that you are actually living in that world. When you put out the goggle, you should be in that world. You feel that you are there, all right? Not like now you are looking at the internet, it's a 2D, you are not inside, even though you are in Zoom, but you think that you are not inside. But in future, if we have Metaverse conference, you are like seeing each other physically. The fifth one is functional economy. Yeah, this is very important because this is another world. It must have a digital economy. It must have a real economy there. There must be a financial system. So you have to pay money. So in Metaverse, you have to pay with digital money. For example, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Okay, in the real world, you pay with your fiat currency, of course. So we need to build this economy. So currently we have this kind of technology. It's called something called decentralized finance. So I'm sure if we have been studying about blockchain and also decentralized finance, you should know that you can actually pay money using crypto inside this Metaverse. Number 6 is interoperability of data, digital asset, and content. Now we have metaverses, but they are mostly operated in silo. They don't connect with each other. They build their own kingdom. So in future, you should be able to share data, just like the present internet. You can share Facebook data to another data. Okay, so all the industry players must come together to build standard, to build interoperability. And 7 is user-generated content. Okay, Metaverse is an open source kind of thing, so we welcome everyone to create the content. For example, you create your digital building or your video content or your shop. So in fact, now a lot of branded company build shops in the Metaverse. For example, LV, for example, Samsung, they build a flagship outlet inside Metaverse. So people actually can buy inside Metaverse and get the real handphone through delivery, right? So everything is happening now. Everyone should learn this Metaverse before it's too late for you to catch up. Okay, this is basically the Metaverse framework you must have before you do the Metaverse. Okay, the hardware must be there. For example, you must have a good processor. The chip must be very, very powerful. You must have the 5G, the networking, the 5G connection. You must have a very advanced programming language, all right? And you must build virtual platforms like our Metaverse Museum. So a virtual platform, you need all the virtual, what I call it, programming language like Unity, Unreal Engine, all this. And you must have the people to build it, all right? And then you must have interaction tools and standard. The standard must be there, just like ISO 9000. You must have ISO for Metaverse. You must have Metaverse standard. And now there are started, a few big companies are getting ready to do the standard. Okay, of course, you must have the payment services, the payment gateway in Metaverse. And very important, the content services, assets, and all that. So basically, you must have this framework. You must have all these components before you become qualified as a Metaverse. I hope you can follow me. But after you can ask questions, no problem. Now Metaverse, the most popular application is the play-to-earn games, especially in Philippines. They even play the youngsters are playing to earn more than the minimum wage. All right. So Metaverse can integrate DeFi and NFT into game. We call it GameFi. Game combine DeFi, it becomes GameFi to create sensational 3D VR experiences. So when you put on the goggle or headset, you can like inside. For example, the Facebook Oculus, I'm using that. So you can actually inside to talk to people, to dance, to exercise, to ride on a roller coaster and all that. So you can monetize by playing games. For example, you win something or you create an asset, then you can sell as an NFT and you can earn money. So this is the present model that monetize Metaverse. So I'm sure you are familiar with some of these games. For example, Axie Infinity. Within 2 years, Axie Infinity achieved $1 billion sales, okay, and more than that. And the new one is Sandbox, also doing well. A lot of big funds are coming in, and they are building a lot of big corporations are building the present, the brand inside. For example, I think Nike and all this, Nike, and everyone can build. Okay, you're welcome to build your present there. You can build a school or universities. All right, Gala, Mobile, Decentralized. Actually, Decentralized is the first one that ventured into Metaverse. They have land, you can buy land, and then the land now is super expensive. It is I think more than $1 million US dollars. All right, it started with maybe $10, but now it's so much. So it's a worthwhile investment in virtual land. Okay, besides games, Metaverse actually have all kind of applications. In fact, all industry, for example, tourism, especially now with COVID, you can tour a country or a site virtually through Metaverse. It's just a real. I've tried it. I visited, for example, the Egypt pyramid. I'm not there, but I'm there, looking down from the top, okay? And you can access the site that is difficult for you to access. For example, Machu Picchu in Peru, I think, okay, or Great Wall of China. All right, it's fantastic application. And also, you can combine virtual and physical. For example, before you visit a country, you want to sign up for a package tour, you can try first with Metaverse. Then if you are satisfied, you can sign up for the program. So you can increase the sign-up rate for businesses. Real estate is one of the biggest application right now. So developer can build virtual houses. They'll let you have a look first, a completed virtual building. So you can go in, wander around and choose the unit you want and click and maybe point and then book the house, the unit. Okay, so super useful for real estate. And also now it's very popular. We have virtual real estate. You can build houses in the real estate, in Metaverse. And also we even have Metaverse real estate agent. Okay, they help you to buy land because it is not easy to choose and buy land, and they're quite expensive. All right. So virtual real estate can be more expensive than the actual real estate. Another one is education. Education has a very good use case. In fact, there's one company called Victoria XL. They started this virtual education, so Metaverse. And for example, you will study history, you can go back in time, right? You can go back to the Roman Empire, see people how they fight and all that. Okay. So, and you study biology, you can dissect the animal without killing the real animal. This is a digital animal. And you can, for doctors, you can learn, okay? You can learn the operation or the surgery. So it's super useful. Okay, healthcare. Healthcare has a big application now. For example, I think Microsoft have developed this HoloLens. So doctor can operate on a person, on a patient with the help from another doctor. He can be present virtually to guide you how to operate. So there's a super good use cases for many for healthcare. Next is manufacturing. So imagine you want to manufacture a car. So you can try it first using virtual manufacturing, okay, in the metaverse. So you can cut down the errors and increase production rate. Okay, was also one ready, you just send to the factory to to manufacture. And last, I want to mention MaaS. What is MaaS? It stands for Metaverse as a Service. Those days we have SaaS, is our software as a service. Now we have Metaverse as a service. So even though, because Metaverse is not easy to build, so we have company that can provide MaaS, can help you to set up your Metaverse. So this is in fact a very big business. So we are coming out with company like Accenture, they're providing this kind of service, MaaS, instead of SaaS. Is something bigger than SaaS. Although Metaverse, they have many good things, but also they might have this psychological impact. For example, distortion of reality, delusion. Okay, so a lot of people, when they go in there, they're enjoying the beauty, they enjoy everything, it look perfect, but they come out, they have a different reality. So there may be a distortion of reality, especially people with those psychological problems like psychosis. Okay, so it may get worse because they have more illusion, more hallucination. So this one is still early for us to study the impact, but we can base on the study on previous digital addiction, for example, game, based on those study. So we can start researching for researcher, university, you should do all this research. In fact, I belong to the advisory board of a journal, Metaverse in Turkey. Maybe you can collaborate on this to do all this research, right? Addiction. This addiction will be worse than the present game because it is very immersive. You are inside, so it's very difficult for them to come out from the environment, immersive environment, because you are so enjoying. So for those for parents, they have difficult time to pull the children out from this metaverse. So these are things we have to study. We cannot see the impact yet because it's still very new. And also you might have, I believe it will have sociological impacts. Harassment. Okay, harassment in Facebook is not so serious, but harassment in the pseudo-real environment like metaverse is worse because there'll be somebody inside actually like harass you. In fact, there are already happening like some rape cases in the metaverse somewhere. I forgot. Okay, so it's something we have to study.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, you have 5 minutes left.
Okay, rush to. Okay, these are the things. For example, socio-economic divide, because in metaverse also there's a socio-economic divide because the land is so expensive. The poor people maybe have to buy land far away, so there may be some slum area in the metaverse. Okay, they kind of then relationship issue like extramarital affairs. For example, there's a platform called Second Life. They actually have they are married couple, but their new girlfriend, new boyfriend in the metaverse. So it's happening. Okay, something could be very serious. Okay, last, I want to just show you my book. This is my little, I have written quite a lot of books. Okay, and blockchain, DeFi. So this is my latest book on Metaverse Made Easy. If you want, you can click those links. They're selling on Amazon.com. This book gives a very basic reading of Metaverse, easy reading. So it's good for beginners to understand. I think that's all I want to discuss with you about Metaverse. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Liew, for excellent information. It's so interesting to see that Metaverse can be applicable in many areas from real estate to healthcare, and it also has positive and negative impact. Hopefully, we will optimize the benefit from it and minimize the risk of the Metaverse. So thank you once again, Dr. Liew. For ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions for Dr. Liew, please add your question to the chat and mention your name and institution. The committee will choose some questions to answer after the second presenter has finished the presentation. For Dr. Liew, we'll get back to discuss the material in Q&A session after Dr. Indrawan has presented the material. Ladies and gentlemen, currently we have Dr. Indrawan here, our second speaker, joining our event. Good morning, Dr. Indra.
Good morning, Adisthy and everyone else. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for joining our event. We allocate 20 minutes to you to deliver the presentation about the perspective and impacts of Metaverse on sustainable development goals. Dr. Indrawan, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and hope everybody is well and happy today. So I have 20 minutes to talk about something that I truly love and passionate about. So it's not an easy task. Normally it takes me 2 hours to talk about this. So I would like to focus our discussion today on how the Metaverse will impact on the design of the corporate learning and development, because that is the topic that is given to me. So let me share my slide. Tell me if you are able to see my slide.
Sure.
Is that okay, Mbak Adisthy?
Yes, we can see it clearly.
Okay. So a little bit about me. My name is Indra. Just call me Indra. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Corporate Innovation Asia. That's a consultant firm on a mission to enable corporate talents to design, develop, and implement innovations in the corporate context. So I think it is appropriate for me to talk a bit about the future of corporate learning and development, because that has been my field since 23 years ago. So I don't know if the students here has already been born 23 years ago. Okay, so before I talk more about how the Metaverse actually impacted and influenced the way corporate learning and development is conducted, I like to ask permissions just for a few minutes to add something from what Dr. Liew has presented earlier. Okay. I like to talk about the Metaverse in a layman's definitions. So just to make it easy, so that you guys will have the context of what I'm about to say when I speak about the impact of Metaverse in the corporate learning environment. So to me, I would define Metaverse is simply as the evolution of the internet. So internet has evolved over times. In the beginning, if you remember about in 1997, so when was that? About 25 years ago. I don't know whether you have been born or not during that time, but internet was very, very basic. You go to a website and what you see would be just text and some images and then videos a few years after. But it's static. You cannot sort of like change the content of the website. It's very static. It is not dynamic. It's like a brochure, but online. And you have like menus. You want to see which pages, just like that. And then the internet has evolved. People call it Web 2, where the internet is more dynamic. We can interact with the content of the website. And now we know about mobile banking, for example, internet banking, where you can transact in the website. You can even edit videos in a websites. We can chat using internet. So that is Web 2. The interactivity that is allowed using the technology of Web 2 is the evolutions of the internet. Now the internet evolves even more. People call it Web 3. And that's where the Metaverse comes in. So how is it different? The difference is that instead of we interacting with the internet using a mobile phone, for example, or laptop or desktop, where we actually see flat screened, what is going to happen using Web3 when the Metaverse has actually come is that we actually experience the internet. How we do that? Well, that is possible because the internet will evolve from two-dimensional images or videos into a complete 3D virtual world where we can enter, where we can immersively becoming part of. So just to give you some idea, for example, today, I believe that most of you have done online shopping, right? In the internet, right? So how you do that? The way you do online shopping today is you either use your mobile phone using apps, or you go to a website using your laptop or desktop, and then you go to this specific app called whatever, Tokopedia or Blibli or whatever, Bukalapak, and then you sort of like scroll through pages of different images that shows collections of items, right? And then you choose which item that you are interested more, and then you go to a cart, and then you check out and then purchase, right? So the same thing can be done in the Metaverse, but the difference is rather than you scroll through all those images, two-dimensional images before you choose one, you actually go to their virtual stores. So there's just like in real life, but it's virtual, it is digital. You can go to a store and then pick up an object, an item you want to choose, like you want to study them before you actually decide to purchase. You can sort of like touch the item and then you move the item around. You see what's on the, and you can actually, well, in the future when the haptic technology already evolved, you can actually feel the items, and then you can talk to the merchant, the people who sell the item. Well, that person might be the avatar of the real person, or that person might be a complete artificial intelligence. You can talk to them, you can ask information about the items before you actually buy. So that is the Metaverse. So it is very immersive, as if you are in the real world, but it's actually virtual. And for learning, for example, the way we learn in Web 2 today is like this, for example, right? We are using Zoom applications. So you can see my video, you can see my slide. I can see your videos as well. But this is okay, this is good, right? It allows us to learn parts away. So I am now in Cibubur. Some of you will be in Singapore, in Jakarta, in Surabaya, in Medan. But we can, as if you are in the same place and learning. But it has limitations, right? Because we are seeing a flat screen. In the Metaverse, we can do the same thing, but it will be more immersive. Why? Because every one of us will be transformed into an avatar. So I'm going to be an avatar in that particular virtual space in the Metaverse. And there is a podium. I will be standing on the podium talking to you guys, and you'll be sitting in the seats, right? In the participant seats. And you can sort of like look right and left, and then see your other friends, avatars, sitting on your right and your left. And you're going to see me up there on the podium, and I'll be presenting things on the podiums, three-dimensionally. So it's much more immersive. So that is the Metaverse that we've been talking about. Dr. Liew has explained to us earlier. So just to get some idea on how we access the Metaverse, I'm going to share with you the two phases of the Metaverse. Dr. Liew has mentioned about this in his presentations, and I'd like just to touch a bit about this before I move on, talking about how the Metaverse will be adapted to change the way we learn and develop people in the organizations. So there are two phases of the Metaverse, or two ways, or I would call it two gates of the Metaverse, because today, when we want to access the internet, right, we are using our mobile phones, right? And we are using our desktop and laptops, and we are sort of like seeing it through a monitor or a screen, right? Well, in the metaverse, the way we interact with the metaverse, with every objects, or the way we experience the metaverse, there are two gateways to do that, two devices to do that. One is called virtual reality. Second is the augmented reality. So this is just the two ways on how we experience the metaverse. Virtual reality is everything that I've been saying from the past 5 minutes about the metaverse. It's about this virtual 3D world where we can go into and then immersively interact with people there, their avatars. We can transact there, we can learn, we can hang out with people in that virtual world, right? So I'm entering that virtual world. There is virtual reality. But there is also another phase of the metaverse, which is called the augmented reality. This is completely different. This is the other way around. So instead of I'm going into a virtual reality world, what I'm going to do with the augmented reality is take that virtual world or virtual object into my real life, into my reality. So for example, I want to do banking, right? So I can use the virtual reality way, which is I put on my virtual reality headsets and then I teleport myself using my avatar to the virtual world where the branch of the bank exists. And then I go to the virtual bank and then I talk to the teller or the financial advisors in that bank and then I start transacting there, right? So I can do that. Or I can do the augmented reality way. Okay, how do I do that? So instead of me putting on my virtual reality headset to go into the virtual branch, what I do is I'm going to put on my augmented reality glasses and then bring that bank to my real life office or my real life house, for example. So I still talk to the avatar of the teller, of the financial advisors, but the avatar is actually coming to my office or coming to my home, sitting next to me on my couch in my family room. And then I still can talk to that financial advisors, discuss something, asking informations, and then even do transactions in my real life. So that's how these two phases of the metaverse works. Now, why I tell you this? Because when we talk about how we design the corporate learning and development within the context of the metaverse, we have to design using these two different perspectives. So there are things that is better use the virtual reality aspects of the metaverse, or maybe for certain types of learning, it would be much better to use the augmented reality types of the metaverse. Right. So just to give you some idea about the example of the virtual reality, if some of you have played VR chat, for example, so you use your VR headsets like Oculus, for example, and then you open the app VR chat, and you sort of like teleported into this virtual world that people built, and then you can talk to real persons, their avatars, of course, of the real persons. You can play with them, you can discuss with them. That's the virtual reality example today. Right. And for the augmented reality, so I believe some of you have played Pokemon Go, right? So that's augmented reality. So you can catch all the monsters, right? Even though in the actual world, you don't see the monsters, but when you use your phone, you're going to see the monsters actually popping up on your phones. So that's augmented reality, right? So you augment our reality. So in our reality, there are no monsters, but you augment, you add something to our reality. In the context of Pokemon Go, you add that monsters which you can sort of like catch, right? Okay, so that's the basic of the metaverse. And now let's talk about how we use this technology called the metaverse to help build a better learning and development program for organizations. Now, So I mentioned earlier about the devices or the gateway to the metaverse, which is the virtual reality headsets, right? It is the one on the right. So it's something you put on your face, and most of the gadgets today or the devices today are virtual reality headsets. You can't see anything. You can't see anything in front of you because like your eyesight is blocked. You see a screen inside that device. That screen projected to your eyes and make you feel that you are in a completely different world. That's virtual reality headsets. The augmented reality headset is just like a normal glasses, like this, right? So you can see through, you can see the actual things in front of you. But the difference is that glasses has a technology that can project 3D objects or 3D environments in front of you, right? Just just like the pictures I show you on the left side. Now there is the upcoming technology is that those two devices will be merged into one device. So this is the future actually called the MR headsets, the mixed reality headsets. So just by using the same headsets, you can switch between virtual reality or augmented reality, and that would be great. Right. Okay. So now, how do we use this headsets and the metaverse technology to help us learn better? This is a quote from Derek Belz. He's the founder and CEO of Centriverse. Centriverse is actually a company who helps corporations to design VR learning, and he said that HR and learning and development will be the bridges to the metaverse. So how do people actually adopt the metaverse? Well, number one, personally, I think it will be from games, right? Because virtual reality games is already here. Augmented reality games is already here. But what next? The next is learning and development. So learning and development, or people in the HR department who focuses on learning and development has the power to help the adoptions of the metaverse becomes bigger. So how do they do that? Now let's answer the questions. Talking about learning using VR, it's not something new actually. It has been around for quite a while. For example, here Bank of America has used virtual reality to train their employees. So new employees will practice a wide range of skills, including how you strengthen and deepening relationships with clients, how you navigate difficult conversations with clients, and how you actually listen and respond with empathy through clients' problems. So these are the skills that is required for every person in the Bank of America when it comes to servicing the clients, right? So rather than having to go into classrooms and learn about theories or practicing with experts, that first it might not be easy to do because employees of the Bank of America is spread across America, and it has like tens of thousands of employees. It would be very expensive. It would be inefficient, and it would take a long time. So rather than doing that, so the companies just create these virtual learning programs and then provide employees with headsets and then let them learn by themselves using the headsets. And then there is this the AI that transform into a virtual persons will be their mentors or will be the instructors in that virtual reality learning environment. Now, I'm showing you this is because there is some misconceptions about how you use the virtual reality aspect of the metaverse in learning. For example, what we are doing now, right? We're learning about the metaverse, right? And we are using Zoom. And how you actually learn about the metaverse is by listening to me and Dr. Liew about the metaverse. Okay, not just listening. You also see my presentations, the pictures and everything, right? So this is actually mimicking the way we learn in the classroom, right? When you go to the campus in the classroom, you're gonna, you sit on the chairs provided in the class, and then the teachers will stand in front of you and start explaining things, right? So this is the same thing. The difference is only it is done virtually. online rather than in a physical world, right? So the misconceptions about learning in a metaverse is that you do the same thing in a metaverse, but instead of you are looking at your screen, you guys will wear a headsets, virtual reality headsets, and then be teleported into a virtual classroom like this. So it's exactly the same thing that we've been doing for more than 100 years, where students sit down and the teachers talk or present something. It's just different medium, the physical medium, and then we sort of change it into a two-dimensional virtual medium called Zoom, and then transfer into the so-called metaverse using the headsets, something like this, the one in the pictures. So why I'm saying that this is wrong? Because that's not the best way to utilize metaverse as a learning tools. Why would you do that? It would be much easier to use Zoom, right? Because everybody can access Zooms. It's much cheaper, right? It doesn't take as much data as the metaverse. You can use your phone. You can be anywhere and accessing Zooms like this, right? So why would you expect everybody to buy a virtual headset just to have the same experience as if you are just using Zooms, right? Okay, there's a different experience because you feel like you are in the classroom with your friends. You can look right, look left. You can listen differently, etc. Yes. But the learning experience is still the same, right? Teachers talk, you listen. Teachers show something, you watch, right? The way human learns naturally is through experience, not through somebody teaching you things. Einstein said that learning is experience. Everything else is just information. So a lot of things we learn at campus, where we sit and then listen to professors talking about things, showing us things. Most of those things we receive as informations. And we try to hold that information as long as possible in our mind. Why? Because maybe next month there will be an exam where I have to recall all those informations. Those are not learning. Those are just preserving information for the sake of me answering the right questions during the exams. Those are not learning. Learning only comes from experience. I have a video in my YouTube channel called Pesan yang menggeser nasib, the messages that shift fates. And in that video, I talk a lot about how I create a video that actually help people to shift their fate. It's not by just giving them informations, but by helping them access certain experience in their life, so they sort of like can connect all the dots and make meaning out of it. And then from those meaning, they start taking actions, and through those experiences in every actions they take, they start truly understand what need to be understood so that they can shift their fate. Okay, I'm talking everywhere. So I'm going to go back to the slides. So the best way for us to help others learn, whether it is in the context of campus, academic learning, or in the context of professional learning, a competency building learning, is through helping them experience whatever they need to learn. All my 4 children learn in Sekolah Alam. So I don't send them to normal schools. I send them to Sekolah Alam. Why? Because the basic premise of the Sekolah Alam is they stimulate students learning through their experiences and the interactions with nature around them. So they discover the knowledge, not somebody spoon feeding you the informations. So the same idea I would bring to you as the best way for anyone to learn. Now, in the past, before the metaverse, it's quite hard to do that. So for example, you want to learn about the black hole, for example. So how can you experience black holes? It is impossible for a human to go into a black hole. Or you want to learn about the center of the earth, all the lava and everything. So it is impossible for us to go deep into the center of the earth, right? You want to see the constellations of stars, or whatever happens under the sea, for example. We cannot all dive into the sea and then experience it ourselves. You want to learn about World War II? Well, we can just learn from books and pictures, right? Because we don't live in that moment. Well, guess what? With the metaverse, it's all possible. You can experience everything you want to learn. What? Okay, let's say you want to learn to do what? For example, okay, in the Bank of America, you learn about how to handle difficult conversations with clients, or how to handle difficult customers, complaining customers. So there are two ways of learning. You can sort of like read it in a book, watch it in the videos, or have somebody to actually do role playing with you. So you will role play as the person's complaining, and then you try to handle, and there is a mentor. Okay, that's great. So that's kind of experiential learning, right? But there are limits to that. How many mentors can you get at one time? How many times you can practice? It's very limited, depends on your partner, right? With the metaverse, it's all possible. And you can learn not just once, not twice, but anytime you want, everywhere you want, with all different scenarios, unlimited scenarios. So it's just like playing games, right? You put on your headsets, and then you are teleported into a virtual branch, and then these customers start coming in and then start complaining, and then you have to sort of like respond in the right way. So these customers is actually AI. In the form of an avatar, and then you sort of like have to ask the right questions or respond with the right answers. And when you do something that is not appropriate, and then there is another AI, which is your mentor, letting you know that, okay, that's not the best way how you respond to the question. So please try again. And you start trying again, you get another feedback. Oh no, I got scores like out of 10, I only got 6 scores. Okay, let me try again tomorrow. Let me try again the day after. You can keep doing that, and you can change all the scenarios. So that is learning by experiencing, not just by reading a book or reading a manual and then try to memorize all that. You experience it, and whatever that you experience, you not just remember, but you understand. And then you can develop that experience into your own knowledge that is unique to you. So that is what Metaverse is actually offering us. The possibility.
Excuse me, Dr. Indra. Sorry, you have 3 minutes left.
Okay, 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give an example, this is Linde Virtual Academy. They created this learning using the Metaverse with virtual reality. So rather than helping these employees to learn about how a plant works, pabrik, yeah, plant, how plant works, they actually go into the Metaverse, which recreates the actual plants in a 3-dimensional form. And then you can walk around, you can sort of like start setting up machines. And that virtual reality learning ground can be designed to give you different scenarios. So for example, there's a fire, how you put that fire off. There's a new machines that needs to be installed. So how you going to install that machines? Every scenarios can be delivered in that virtual environments, and you can do all that, and you can make mistakes as much as you want without having to sort of like facing the risk of actually hurting yourself, right? Those are the virtual reality aspect. Now it's the augmented reality. So how does that being done, the augmented reality? This is, for example, you can just see the photo, and I believe you straight away understand what I'm talking about. So rather than just having all the mentors or instructors at next to you every time, you can have the AI be your mentors. They can even sort of like, for example, this guy is learning how to put certain spare parts into a whole machines. So this augmented reality glasses allows this learner to actually see the machines, the physical machines, but on top of the physical machines, it is projected all the things that needs to be done. So, those things that glow in green, for example, those are the things they need to focus on. And then the AI will tell you, so like pull this lever or screw this, and then you put things in here, etc. So imagine how the metaverse, both the virtual reality and the augmented reality, can be used to help us learn. both in a corporate setting or in the academic setting. And again, we can all do that without facing the risk or the consequences that might be dangerous for us. So to recap, there are three main features of learning in a metaverse. Number one is immersive interactive guides. So imagine you have Pangeran Diponegoro teaching you the history of Indonesia, or the President Sukarno taking you through how Indonesia get liberated from the Dutch, for example. So that would be great, right? So and everybody can have that same experience, right? And then number two is adaptive learning journey. In a metaverse, the machine learning and artificial intelligence is very strong. So when you learn using the metaverse, it would be tailored specifically to you. So the AI will detect your learning style and then will adjust the experience that they present to you according to your style. So you can all learn about, for example, history of World War II, but the way you experience the learning might be different from your friend's experience in learning World War II, because the AI will detect that I have a different style from my friends. So the AI will design the journeys quite differently. And also the speed of learning. Okay, so when Indra is learning about physics, for example, he's quite slow. He's not as sharp as the other guy. Okay, so for Indra, let's take it slow. But for the other guy, well, you can just go straight away talking about all the hard stuffs. So it is adaptive learning, and Metaverse allows us to do that. So one of the problem of education today is actually like factory, mass productions. The same curriculums, the same speeds, the same pacing, the same tools, the same test materials, which is not ideal, far from ideal. Metaverse allows us to learn in our best possible way of learning. Learning something that is truly valuable to us, not being forced on that standardizations, just like factories. Okay, number three, create, share, and learn. This is another beauty of the Metaverse. So you can create things in the Metaverse. For example, you learn about business, right? So in the Metaverse, you can actually build businesses. You can create 3D products, making it into an NFT, so you can sell it to others, and then you can manage money, so you can grow your business as is in the real world. So for example, you learn about biology, for example, right? About planting seeds and then see how it grows. That can happen in the Metaverse. You can sort of like change the formula of things, and then see if I change this chemical formula, would the seed grow faster or better? You can make all kinds of experiments, and you can create things that never existed before. For example, you learn about rockets, how rockets can go fly over the moon, right? You can actually create real rockets in the Metaverse, that is impossible to do in the real life, right? It would be so expensive and so dangerous. In a Metaverse, you can actually call your friends and then start building rockets, virtual rockets, with everything that is physically required to build rockets, from the aerodynamics and then the chemical content of the rockets and everything. And then you can actually see how the rocket goes. Sometimes it flops, and then you try again, and then you try to fire again, etc. So again, Metaverse opens up all the possibilities of us learning, creating something, because the best way to learn something is to create things. You want to learn how how rocket works, you've built rockets. That's what Elon Musk did. You heard the story of Elon Musk, right? He tried to buy rockets from Russia, and then he got sort of like pranked by Russia. So he decided to build his own rockets. And then while doing it, he's learning how to build rockets. And now he built reusable rockets, right? So the best way to learn is by experiencing it and then experiment on the insights you get from those experiences and start creating something. trying things out. You failed, that's okay. There's no risk in the metaverse. You start again. You fail again. Okay, you learn from the failure and start again. And then you start sharing all those knowledge to your friends so that they can give feedbacks, and then you learn even more. Okay, I think I have to stop there because my 3 minutes is up. I hope we can have a great discussions afterwards. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for a very exciting presentation. It opens up our insights that corporate worldwide has started implemented the VR as learning tool and getting the benefit from immersive experience. Hopefully more companies in Indonesia will optimize this technology for learning and growth. Okay, thank you once again, Dr. Indra, for a very exciting presentation. Dear audience, for approximately an hour, we have listened to a very interesting and extraordinary presentation from extraordinary speakers about Metaverse in a nutshell and about learning and growth through Metaverse. All right, now we will continue to the Q&A session. We have received several questions through Zoom and YouTube. For the committee, please show the questions that we have recapped from the Zoom and YouTube. Okay. So the first question for Dr. Liew Kiong from Stephanie Made Ayu, Universitas Terbuka Palangkaraya. Currently, cryptocurrency market is crashing as known as crypto winter. What do you think about the metaverse future based on this phenomena? Dr. Liew, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much from Stephanie. All right, this is not an easy question to answer. Actually, now crypto is, when it says crypto winter, this is the normal cycle because every year it happens. And Metaverse actually not so much to do with crypto winter because we are building something like technology based Web 3.0. And we can build your digital asset, and you can even use something called stablecoin. All right, except those are backed by reserve, for example, USDC. So if you are using USDC, there's no issue of crypto winter because the currency is stable. Right? You can even build your own stablecoin inside the metaverse as a form of payment. All right, and this crypto winter is going to recover very soon. I believe that. But don't take my word as an investment opinion. I'm not an expert for investment, but I do trade cryptocurrency. So the future is good. Metaverse can be applied in all forms of industry, nothing to do with crypto. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Liew, for the answer, and I hope this explained the situation for you, Miss Stephanie. All right, we have the second question, and please for the committee to show the screen. Okay, the second question is for Dr. Indrawan from Raisita. Is it possible for Metaverse to be accessible for everyone in the future, just like the internet now? Because to access it, we need expensive tools and gadgets. And how will Metaverse affect people's real life? Is it possible that it will be fully replace people's real life? So, Dr. Indrawan, the time is yours.
Okay. So first question first. In the future, yes, everybody will have access to the Metaverse. And yes, today the device is still expensive. I think the cheapest VR headsets at the moment is the one from Meta. Oculus is about 4.5 million, right? But Xiaomi is launching its Metaverse or VR headsets in the near future. And those devices will get cheaper over time. Just remember, in the past, not everybody has a computer, right? Only certain people have computers. But now everybody has computers. Again, not everybody has mobile phones. Now everybody has mobile phones. Not everybody has smartphones because it's still expensive then. And now all phones are smartphones, right? And so is this VR or AR headsets. Now it's still expensive, but in the near future, it's going to be cheap. Everybody's going to have one. Even research by CB Insights found that or predict to be exact, predict that in 2024, the number of VR headsets will outnumber the number of game console. So there you go. Yes, everybody will have access in the near future. Not now, but in the near future. Second question is, how will Metaverse affect people's real life? It is the same thing as how internet affects people's life today. So if for some people, they are very addicted to social media, and somehow they start comparing themselves to their friends. I'm not as beautiful as them. I'm not as rich as them. I'm not as lucky as them. And then it's sort of like affecting their mentality and psychology. Well, the same thing will happen in the metaverse. In fact, probably it's going to be worse because it's more immersive in the metaverse, right? So how we mitigate that risk is that by trying to train ourselves about how we use the internet today. If we can be wise on how we see ourselves and our friends on the internet today, then I think we'll be okay in the metaverse. And for our children, for example, we can teach them that whatever happened in the metaverse or in the internet today, it might be fake. Your friends is not as doesn't have fun as what you see on the internet. It's fake. It's much more beautiful and happy here at home with our families and real friends, for example. So how it will be fully replace people's life, I don't think it will be completely replacing people's life. Metaverse is just a tool, just like internet is today. It's just a tools to help us enhance our life, help us learn faster and better, work much more efficient and more productive. So again, see Metaverse as a tool that never replace our real life.
Well, thank you, Dr. Indra, for the excellent answer. So I hope that answer your questions, Mrs. Sita, that hopefully the technology will be more accessible in the future. So we still have several questions for our speakers. From Natalia Atmajaya, Jakarta, the questions is for Dr. Liew. I understand that Metaverse open possibility for learning and entertainment. However, now it is still a privilege regarding the knowledge and the access. In your opinion, how to make it more accessible and democratized so that common people could easily understand and participate in it? Thank you. And please, Dr. Liew, time is yours.
Thank you, Natalia, for the question. This is a very good question. I can see that in future we will have two kinds of metaverse: the centralized metaverse by Meta or Facebook, and also those decentralized metaverses, those we are building. All right, so we want to make the metaverse more accessible. When you come in, maybe completely free, but you can choose the services. You can pay for example, learning some basic knowledge, maybe $10. But you want advanced degree, a doctorate or MBA, maybe you have to pay more. Just like a real life. So I believe all the metaverses should be open to everyone, just like Facebook. But only for extra services or additional services, you need to pay more. So this is a way I believe all the decentralized metaverses should form an alliance to fight against the centralized monopolized metaverse. So this is a way we democratize, because only through decentralized consensus we can democratize. We don't want the monopoly, the big bully, sorry to say, Google, Facebook, they are controlling our data. But in metaverse, we control our own data, we create our own assets, and we share among others. So for my education, Metaverse Academy, we are going to build something that inclusive for everyone. We want to have open source and also open platform for everyone to build the content together. This is a way to build a sustainable world for our future, especially now with the war happening everywhere. We want to promote world peace. This is what is our mission is. Thank you.
Well, Thank you, Dr. Liew, for the excellent answer. So as the technology grows, the cost maybe also decline. So we hope that it will be more accessible in the future, like it's related to the previous answer from Dr. Indrawan. So we still have some questions that will be shown in the screen. This is for Dr. Indrawan from Shirley UT Pondok Cabe. So in the long run, what do you think about the effect of Metaverse on human mental health? Dr. Indrawan, time is yours.
Yeah, as I said earlier, that Metaverse is just it's just an evolution of the internet. So if people having problems on mental health today using our current internet, they would also have that mental health problems in the Metaverse. But for people who are wise enough not to use the internet in a wrong way today, they would not have problems about mental health. So, in the long run, I think it's really depends on the people. If you have low self-esteem, and you have no friends in real life, very low on self-confidence, and then somehow you find friends on the internet today. I'm not talking about the Metaverse. It's today, and somehow that so-called friends on the internet sort of like fill the gap that been missing for years, and then you start trusting that person, and somehow that person sort of like betrayed you or something. Then it's gonna hurt you, right? And you start looking at the pictures of your friends who's looking better than you, achieving something higher than you, owning something more beautiful than you. Your confidence level will drop even more. Your self-esteem will drop even more, and that will hurt your self-esteem in the future, right? So the same thing will happen in the Metaverse. But again, it's not going to happen to everyone. It's going to happen for the people who have the tendency of, degrading mental health. If you are a psychologically healthy person and have a strong mentality, I don't think you would have problems navigating the Metaverse. You're not going to get hurt from the Metaverse. And also, it would be good to sort of like understand how the Metaverse work, and then all the do's and don'ts. That's what I've been teaching my children's. You should not use your real name, never post pictures of the house where we live, and never talk to strangers. You can talk to strangers, but never be close to them. Whatever your friends is posting on Instagram, it's not as good as it actually looks like. All those things we need to teach our children and teach ourselves. And then most importantly, we have to build their self-esteem, about their self-worth. And then we have to make sure they have real friends in real lives. They have to make sure they are being fully cared by us, the parents, that they are truly loved by us. They don't need to try to fill gaps in the internet, because there's no gaps. We fill all those gaps. And for those people with that psychological state, I don't think they would have problems in the Metaverse in terms of mental health. So it comes back to us and how we build our current mental health that will affect how the Metaverse will impact on our mental health in the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Indra. I agree that we need to build our self-esteem, and I think the role of family and nearby environment or also education provider is really important to build this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we actually still have enormous questions as we see them on the chat. However, due to the limited time, we need to end our panel session. And before I close the session, I would like to invite the speakers to give us some short closing remarks, please. So maybe we can start from Dr. Liew and then continued by Dr. Indra. So Dr. Liew, time is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. So I think every industry, every individual should learn Metaverse, because this is the gateway to the future, to Web3. So it can enhance your learning experience, enhance your life, and we create jobs for the industry, for everyone. Because now a lot of people are unemployed due to COVID-19. So we can create a lot of jobs in the metaverse. You can be a designer, an architect, you can be a teacher, you can create school, you can be a therapist. For example, just now we mentioned mental health, we can create a therapist for the mental patient. You can go there and have your counseling services. So we can create a digital economy, a more enhanced digital economy, and to expand our horizon in the future. So I propose everyone should be learning Metaverse now. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your closing remarks. Hopefully more jobs will be established in the future. Okay, so next, please, Dr. Indrawan, to give us closing remarks, please.
Yeah, again, Metaverse, let's see Metaverse as a tools, right? Just like the internet today. It's just merely tools, an evolving tools, much more advanced tools where we can enhance everything in our lives. Yeah, our health even, and then our mind, our learning, our productivity, etc. So I totally agree with Dr. Liew. It is a great time for us now to start learning more about the Metaverse and then try to be part of it any way we can, because we don't want to miss the train. It will happen. It will happen. Eventually, it will happen, and probably sooner than we thought it would be. And when that happens, those people who already in the Metaverse will have a competitive advantage rather than people who are still wait and see. So remember, during the early days of the internet, companies and peoples who have adopted emails before everyone else, who has already have websites before everyone else, they are in a more beneficial situations than those who haven't adopted the internet then. Today we see the companies who hasn't been in the internet, who doesn't have the online store or online presence, they're struggling to be relevant in today's world. So the same thing will happen in 5 to 10 years. So the question is, are we going to wait and just see what happens, or you want to be part of it and become the first mover? So echoing Dr. Liew, I would ask every one of us to start exploring the Metaverse and be part of it as soon as possible, any way we can. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Indrawan, for your closing remarks. Okay, next, as a token of appreciation, we would like to give a certificate as a gratitude. So please, the committee to show our digital certificates to our speakers. First, we give the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Liew. Thank you for joining us as our plenary speakers. And next, thank you also. We give the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Indrawan Nugroho for joining us as our plenary speakers. Thank you so much, Dr. Indra.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the speakers once again, Dr. Liew and Dr. Indrawan, for their informative and interesting presentation, and also to all the participants for your active participation. Please give applause to the speakers and to you all. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we'll finally come to the end of the panel session. I should remind everyone that we will be seeing you again during the second panel session at 2:35 p.m. Thank you very much once again for all the speakers and to all the participants. Next session will be taken over by Yona Risman. Mr. Yona, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Adisthy. It's one of fruitful discussion you led. Congratulations. And thank you very much for Dr. Liew von Kiong, also Dr. Indrawan Nugroho. Thank you for being here to join us today. And we are so happy to have you here today. Before we invite you to join the first panel session, we'd like to have a photo session. And please turn on your camera, and the committee will take the picture page by page. The committee, please.
On your camera, and we will count 1, 2, 3, and take the picture page by page. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next page. 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then next page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. So, izin pamit ya. Thank you, Dr. Liew. Nice knowing you, Dr. Liew. Thank you.
Mr. Indra, Dr. Indra. Very good. Your speech is very good. Very nice.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll
Hope
see you
to
soon.
communicate again.
Sure, love to.
So
Love to.
for
Thank you.
those, if you want more questions, you can send me an email or visit my blog.
Sure, okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Mbak Adisthy. Makasih ya.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Dr. Indra.
Now we invite you to join the first panel session. You can invite your room in your program book, and you should you have any difficulties, please ask our committee.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. A system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our learning system. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance, to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all. All. The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. a system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our learning system. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.